It's my cat, guys. It's always my cat. It's always my cat. What is he doing?
I literally was like, what is it?
Playing with a Nerf bullet.
Yeah, I was like, what is in his mouth? And then he just... And now
he
he's
loves
just
a Nerf bullet.
bopping it around between his little paws.
He loves a Nerf bullet.
Very active. Okay, he's relaxing.
I don't even want to bother with a cold open because I just want to get into it. I need to talk about Carl and I need to talk about Lindsay.
This is just, I can't.
Right?
Do you want me to act as the therapist?
I need to know what the listeners really, what they think. I took a poll.
Okay.
And I asked whether or not it should be on camera or off camera.
The breakup.
Yes.
Okay.
And guys, I'm sorry, my cat is just wild. And a large majority, like 70% of people will probably, I don't know, I need to go back and look, think that this should have happened off camera.
Okay.
And allegedly, I mean, I say allegedly, but I do want to say allegedly, he waited. Okay, so the season apparently wrapped last weekend.
Okay.
Right. Which is like not that big of a deal.
It's summer. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, oh my God, the show already wrapped and cameras had to go back up. Cameras were still basically up.
The cameras hadn't been broken down and
That's what I'm
returned to
saying.
the gear house yet.
No.
Get out of here.
No, they had not.
It'd have been like a few days dark.
So allegedly he did this and like called production to get cameras and get it set up so he could do this on camera. Break up with her on camera when he allegedly had the opportunity to break up with her off camera because they were already they had been wrapped for 5 days.
I mean,
wow.
So I think that we should just get in. I think we should just get into the episode.
Okay.
Guys, we're going to talk about some hot topics like this because I know that it's piping hot. I hate saying piping hot.
Steaming.
God, I'm such an embarrassment.
the look on your face as soon as you said it too, as it left your lips.
I wasn't even that upset about it, but then
I hate it. Like when people do like reality piping hot, can't. It's okay. I personally feel like I can't say it because I personally feel like I sound stupid. Now other people
you don't believe it. So the
no,
believability is
exactly.
gone.
So when other people say it on podcasts or when they say it like on their TikToks. It's not bother. It doesn't bother me then, but it bothers me when I say it anyway.
Okay.
So it's I want to just get into it, and I feel like we'll get stuck there, and I don't want to get stuck there in our cold open for like 30 minutes.
Let's do it.
So let's just get into it. Hey y'all, welcome to Reality Bites, the podcast where we'll deep dive into this week's buzziest reality TV and pop culture happenings.
I'm Betsy, and while I may be 9 to 5 by day, I'm a reality connoisseur by night.
And I'm JJ, a reality TV producer by trade, but my favorite pastime is dishing unfiltered dirt and behind-the-scenes scoop. We'll tackle the biggest and best water cooler moments of the week through an insider lens you won't find anywhere else.
Buckle up, buttercups.
Please don't tell me it's about Tom.
It's about Tom.
This is Reality Bites.
Just talk about the topics.
I know.
I'm like, so anyway, for lunch, I had this. They're like, God damn it.
I know. Betsy was just saying that you guys are probably really thrilled to only have like a 1 minute cold open. Because we're like, finally, shut the fuck up and get to the point, you know?
The prayers have been answered. Here we are.
Well, yeah, for those of you who have been trying to say a little prayer, they have been answered. And it was a 2 minute cold open, and we're here. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, Lindsay, Carl. All right. So I guess what I'm trying to say, going back to what I was saying earlier, I took a poll and people are not happy about it. People are pissed that he waited until cameras and embarrassed her like this, and pissed that, why didn't he fucking do this? I don't know, the whole fucking summer leading up to yesterday.
Yeah.
Or to the earlier this week, whenever this happened. So what are our thoughts? Where do we lie with this? Where are we in the moral compass? And is it morally corrupt, as Faye Resnick would say?
God.
Never missing an opportunity
Really?
to bring Faye to the
Isn't that what they called her? The morally corrupt Faye Resnick?
They sure
Yeah.
did.
During the O.J. Simpson trial?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess, where are we at? I'm gonna take a pulse.
Take a pulse. Well, I think two things can be true. Because when I heard about this, and I heard I saw the poll that you did, and I was confused on the timeline.
Oh, you did see it?
I did, yeah. I
I'm
dabbled.
impressed.
Thank you. I did not.
Did you vote?
I did not vote because I didn't want to. I was like, we're going to be talking about it anyway. I didn't.
Oh, you don't want to spoil.
Affect
Yeah.
the spread.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fair. Okay. But I wasn't quite sure where it lived within like the season. So, but now I'm understanding that they had technically wrapped. I put that in quotations.
Yeah.
And then cameras went back up
This is going to be a Scandival thing.
for the breakup.
Kind
for the breakup.
of. Yeah.
I think this is going to be a tough opinion, is that I don't really give a fuck. Because I don't really care. Like, I was wishing them well. I hope that they had some success. But I think that we all felt like...
Some?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Retract.
Little to
Bravo,
no
bravo,
success.
bravo. I wish they had success. But I think we all kind of speculated that maybe something felt a little off. Why are we rushing? Why do we feel the need
Sure.
to... And, we talked about it when we watched Summer House, that Carl kind of seems like a shell of himself. So...
Sorry.
Right, though? We said that.
We did.
Many,
We
many
did. I'm
times.
sorry. I'm having to go back and remind myself.
So I think that, I understand the perception of it being cruel. With the idea of, cameras were technically down. Because let's call a spade. He's probably wanting to have been broken up since last season. So this should have already
year.
This should have already probably happened. And I'm not trying to be cruel. That's just what it seemed to me. Even at the reunion, he was just like kind of sitting there going through the motions.
He was a sitting duck.
So I think that this is not something that he discovered within a week of the cameras being down and then thought, I must do it now. So I don't quite know where the motivation was. I don't know why he maybe didn't just do it when they were still shooting, because I guarantee he probably felt it. Mm-hmm. But I will say to the 70% of people out there that voted, first of all, thank you. Your vote matters and it counts. But I think you can understand and you can see that how it happened is cruel, and I'm on board with that. But you want to see it, don't you? Don't we want to see it?
I mean,
the same thing that we wanted to see Scandival? I'm just saying.
But with Scandival, didn't that feel a little... I think people are feeling like that felt different because Ariana is the one that did that.
Correct.
So, like...
I just believe that people want to see it. The same way...
100%, guys. I don't have a job without you guys wanting to see it.
Right, literally.
So I'm just...
Like, you guys want to see it.
I think that the ick is coming in for the fact that they wrapped, and then he was like, no, let's get the cameras back up, and I'm going to break up with her now. Like,
Here's
that
the
does
thing.
feel gross, and I get that. But,
Moral majority, moral authority is piping hot right now. Piping hot.
Yeah.
Even though I hate that term, I'm going to lean into it today.
Yeah.
Piping hot. In a month, people are not going to give a fuck about morals and ethics. And they're going to be like, yeah, we can't wait to see it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you were speaking about motivation, Betsy, and here I have a quote or, one of those like, not a haiku, but one of those, motivational words of affirmation, one of those type of
Posts
posts,
like the self-help
that
type of...
Exactly, that Carl Radke liked. And I'm going to read it to you.
Oh.
Manipulation is when they always play the victim by blaming you for reacting to their toxic behavior, but never discuss their disrespect that triggered you.
Okay.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
And
I
Carl
subscribe.
Radke liked that.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
just
wonder
saying.
who he's thinking of when that happens.
I'm really going to have to dig deep for that one.
And
Okay,
you know what?
exactly.
Before, because I want to know what y'all think too, but I also did see, now it was just one post, but I want to highlight this post. And it was somebody holding up a, what is it called? Like a cardboard poster board that says, Paige was right.
Guy with the sign.
Oh my God, was that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
And it said Paige was right. And I said, you know what? Even if it's just one person saying that, I feel validated.
Paige was right. She
Yes,
called
but
it.
there are people that are out there that are saying that it's disgusting that Paige is reveling in this.
Well, why? What is
Is
Paige
she
doing?
reveling or
Because
is she
she
just...
recently had a Giggly Squad podcast alive where somebody caught her on, and I say caught her on tape, quote, end quote, like bunny ears, because somebody had asked her what her thoughts are or something about like what's, how the season is. And, maybe it was alluding to like Carl and Lindsay. I don't know. Anyway, her response was, it's going to be like, there's shit. There's
tea. I can't say what it is, but
Paige
there's tea.
will never, and guys, if this is not me being a Paige sympathizer, I am just saying what I know to be what I've anecdotally have seen out there, and I've been saying it for years. It does not matter what Paige DeSorbo does. She is always seen as like the villainess, which I'm sure a part of her kind of loves living in that space.
Because it's a fun space to play.
Yeah,
in.
but I'm sure she also kind of hates it.
I love her.
Love Paige.
The people just are like, I can't believe it. Like, Paige is so disgusting, and like, how could she? She probably is. She's reveling. She wanted them to break up. She knew. Well, whatever.
I mean, speaking of the moral majority and the moral authority here, it's like the target's constantly moving. Just because Paige was calling things out that she saw that, by the way, speaking for myself personally, I agreed with throughout last season and before. It doesn't mean that she always gets it right. No, because no one always gets it right. But
sure,
I mean, she's getting it right now. Like, we were all calling out the fact that, Carl felt like a shell of himself, that Lindsay felt like she was putting it on too much, and all of these things. And it doesn't take away from the fact that Lindsay just wants to have a partner and wants to be happy and have a settled life, and which I want for her.
No, I do too.
Like, no question. But just like Instagram and social media can be just a curated display of what we want the world to see. That's what their entire relationship on the show felt like, and just what their entire relationship felt like.
And just because they broke up doesn't mean this is what we wanted.
No.
And I think that's where
coming.
I know, but I think that's where people are getting upset. Like, of course, and people wanted this. And
well, I'm going to speak for myself.
Danielle, and
Danielle also was right. I think, justice for Danielle.
I think Danielle, though, probably could be an exception because they are such good friends, and of course, so she might have more of a connection and a feeling of a certain way on how this went. I don't want to be Paige's spokesperson, but I would be willing to bet that she's not waking up and going to sleep thinking about them. So I think people give her so much credit that she's behind the scenes, like, oh, my plan's working. She really, at the end of the day, doesn't give a fuck. Now, if somebody asks her a question, she's going to voice her opinion.
Yeah,
but the same with me. Like, I don't want to wish bad things for them, but guys, I haven't thought about Lindsay and Carl for months.
Yeah,
months and months. And then I thought, oh, yeah, they were together, but now they're broken up. Like, I'm not that worried about it, and I don't think she's that worried about it.
I agree.
Then there are some people on the flip side who think that, is Lindsay in on this? It's PR.
Is this a PR stunt?
Is this a PR thing?
Oh, I would love that.
It's very Scandival. It's very, they were done, and cameras are back up. But there is rumor out there that the guests didn't know, and like, he didn't. Okay, let me rephrase that. Carl, supposedly, the rumor out there is that a few days ago was the last day to cancel for the hotel rooms for the wedding.
Okay.
And Carl broke up with her, or broke off the engagement after the fact. So people are really upset, and only producers knew. No one really knew. So like, people are upset that if the rumor is true, how Carl could have done this, how could he? Guests now can't get out of their, engagement. I mean, sorry, their hotel bookings, and they can't get out of this. And I just, look. Also, what I'm also saying is that, like, she deserves better. Can we not also point out that, do we think that this was an easy thing to do?
No.
Absolutely
why does it have to be, why does Lindsay have to be at the same, like, why does she have to be seen at the same as Ariana? Because that's what I'm also, like, that's kind of the rhetoric that I'm saying. It's not to say that they both don't deserve their place in the sun, but do you understand why does it have to be Carl, or like why does it have to be one way or the other? Just because it's Sandoval, why does that have to be Carl? I know that he broke up the engagement, but
I'm not. What? He told her directly
on camera.
On camera.
See, there are a lot of caveats to this.
Yeah,
I get a lot.
I get it. I get feeling like, ugh, that feels gross that he did that.
Executive producer does not agree.
Well, because she's Eeps. Listen, I'm coming from...
I'll chime in a second.
I'm coming from the viewer standpoint. Now,
Fair.
I am a minority viewer because a lot of the times I don't care. Right? Especially in like Summer House is a new addition for me. So to say that I really care is a real stretch of the truth.
Sure.
But I do like some of these people. And do I want to see this moment happen on TV if I'm being honest with myself? Yeah, sure I do. Do I think it's going to be an honest scene? No. So that part I'm like, oh, I guess I'll see what they put together because it's the two of them and I don't know how authentic it's going to be.
Is devastated. Devastated.
And that's also not something that I necessarily want to see, but I guess I can understand where like the mass majority are coming from, that they think it's cruel that they quote unquote picked up cameras and they did this. But also, I think what a lot of people don't understand, which I'm interested to see y'all's insight, because I know at the beginning, Lauren, you said that like cameras are always still kind of up when it's that close to wrapping a show. So I wonder if there's just also so much that goes into it that it was easy for them to do a scene like that.
Sure.
Like a quick pickup scene.
It would have been
and
totally
it wasn't
easy.
and it wasn't like months and months later and he's like, you know what? Get the cameras up, baby, because I'm gonna destroy her. Like I don't think that's a motivation for anybody.
No. If he had done it 3 weeks ago, to me it would have had the same impact.
Correct.
Even if they're still up. Cameras are still up, quote, end quote. I'm doing that in bunny ears.
But do you see how
I don't think
the
that's an
cameras
argument
being
to me.
down, how that changes people's
yes, but the
opinion
cameras
on
were
what's going on?
Guys, the cameras were down for 5 days. Like
they weren't down.
They were never actually down. They were probably still doing
Correct.
pickups this last week.
But when people don't understand that producers didn't have anything to do with Scandival, people aren't going to understand that cameras being down for 5 days means anything. The cameras were down and he chose to go back up.
But even if...
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not the same. Go ahead. I want executive producer to chime in on this one.
I mean, like, I have a few thoughts, and I will also preface this by saying I am not trying to invalidate anyone's feelings or opinions out there.
I'll tell you if I feel invalidated.
And my opinions are strictly my own, obviously.
Which is a disclaimer.
That's my disclaimer. And they're not affiliated with either of you. They're just my opinions.
I'm going to be the buffer on this one.
Okay. First of all, absolutely, it should have been on camera. Here's the reality, guys.
Doesn't even think about it.
This is not even a thought process in my mind. These people are paid
okay?
a lot of money. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Betsy
I don't
choked.
normally, not by that reaction. I'm drinking a Coke and I don't normally drink, and it's getting it's all in
fizz.
Yeah.
Well, executive producer's so into what she's saying. She gets so radical that Betsy is choking and she doesn't care. She doesn't give a fuck.
Betsy,
she doesn't give
no.
Guys,
She's like,
she does
turn
not
her mic down.
Exactly. She doesn't give a fuck in the same way that she doesn't give a fuck that Lindsay was broken up with on camera.
Look, do I care that Lindsay was broken up with?
Yeah, but I'm not.
And is
I do
hurting?
care. I do
yes,
care.
I care as a human being. That sucks. Should it have been on camera? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
They're paid six figures, mid six figures.
Okay.
They're both OGs to
Reality reckoning.
I'm sorry, you sign up to show your life.
Exploit.
You are dating and engaged to another A cast member.
Okay. Yes.
I'll tell you what I would have been really fucking pissed about. If he waited until a few days after they wrapped the season, broke up with her, and we're going to have to wait. We're only going to see it at the reunion, and then we're going to have to wait 10 months, 11 months, 10 months before we see them all together again filming. That would have been fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It is... Sorry, that is part of what you sign up for. This is not something that was a blindside, like he caught her cheating. So
she is blindsided.
Well, I want to know how fucking blindsided she actually is. This is something that clearly was coming. I also don't necessarily...
Like, you think she could have felt it?
Yes.
Like, you don't think that she didn't
But
feel
I think
it?
she's probably hiding it.
I hope she could have.
Yeah.
We felt it. And we're not in the relationship.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, I wonder how much of it was really they were wrapped and they picked cameras back up than it was Carl let them in on the fact that he was thinking about this. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to do it at the house with everyone there the weekend before. Mm-hmm. So they did a solo scene that following week.
He doesn't want to embarrass her.
And he doesn't want to embarrass her.
So he doesn't want to do it in the city before they go back to the summer house.
The last weekend at the summer house.
Because he doesn't want either one of them to have to face
everyone and the firing squad.
Correct.
Now, do I think they better have fucking shot a couple of other scenes besides just Carl and Lindsay? They better have shot Lindsay calling someone or a sit down with a few of them.
Hopefully Danielle, maybe at least.
Kyle and Carl. And
well, I don't know. We haven't seen where Kyle is on this.
Man, no one's
And
really.
by the way, why is it like everyone's like, Paige is so excited. What about Kyle? Let's be clear here.
Paige and Kyle are co-chairing a
Because
celebration.
the woman always gets the worst of it. So
why
it
does
doesn't
it have
matter.
to be that way? I don't like that.
Me either. Also, can I just bring up that this leaked footage, and I'm again bunny quotes from the Giggly Squad Live, that was from July 27th.
Okay.
That was over a month ago. So
okay, digital forensics.
This was not. I had to look it up before because I remember.
Oh my God, when did you look that up?
Just now. I remember that when I saw the video of it or the text, the anon submission.
I know it was a while ago.
So my take is I don't know how much of a real blindside this was. That maybe it was him just trying to save her a little bit of embarrassment.
Give her a little grace. And yes, this absolutely should have been on camera.
And you want to see it. And it's okay, guys. You don't have to admit it. You certainly don't have to admit it to me.
Yeah.
But you, and I don't mean that in the way like you want to see somebody in pain. I'm not coming from that angle. But this is also, to Eve's point, this is not even just a relationship that's been happening for over a year. These are two people that y'all have watched for what, 7 seasons? 8 seasons?
Yeah.
So
almost a decade.
There is an aspect that like you do want to see how this happens, what he says to her, what's the reasoning, how does she take it, even though it might be hard to watch. You're gonna want to see it, and that's really just the truth.
Well, I think we live in a land where we want to say we want to see it, but if we say we want to see it, does that make us bad people?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to admit it. Your secret is safe with me. And like I said, I don't like watching people in pain, but at the same time, as Eeps pointed out, you are following their life, and life is fucking painful. As Taylor Swift says, it's emotionally abusive. So that's just life sometimes. And it's
I worked on The Bachelor for so many years that I saw people rise and fall.
Emotionally abusive.
Yeah, seriously.
God.
I saw it all.
I'm just saying, guys, you don't have to feel guilty for. I think both can be true. I think you can see the facts that you see, that he picked up the cameras. I think you can recognize that, wow, that could be cruel in a certain sense. And then I think it's also okay to watch it and not feel bad about watching it because they are getting paid a lot of money.
And the point of what they're doing, being on a show, is showing and talking about their lives.
I know.
Are there things that are off limits? Yes, but the relationship you have that was born out of the show with another OG cast member that we've seen, we were going to see their wedding. We should see their breakup.
Were we going to see their wedding?
No fucking question.
Of course.
They were going to pick back cameras up. No question.
Well, guys, remember how mad we all were when Robin Dixon didn't talk about the affair?
Exactly.
We don't want to see Robin suffer. We don't want to see her go through a hard time. But we deserve to see the affair unfold if that's what's happening.
Yep.
Queens of Bravo put up a post that was also a poll on their stories, basically saying how is it that, because I think what ultimately their poll ended in, Carl should not have done this on camera, but to their argument, why is it that we needed to see Juan Dixon and Robin on camera, but we don't need to see Carl and Lindsay? And I was like, thank you.
That's a very good question, Queens.
I think it's, rules for thee, not for me. I think it differs on every show and everyone has an opinion. And it's so interesting how on something like Vanderpump, there's no question. Thank God cameras went back up.
Yeah.
Right.
But with something like this, it's how dare he, because he knew and he's embarrassing her and yada, yada.
Well, I really like the way that you painted it, Eeps, with he probably had been feeling this for a while.
Yeah.
The show is called Summer House. It's going to be awkward to break up with her right in the middle of summer and then be like, all right, babe. Can I call you babe? We're going to go next weekend. That's going to be an awkward situation, right?
Yeah.
So I think if we think about it, now, of course, we are not Carl, newsflash, but if we try to think about it in the way that, he kind of did feel this was coming, he didn't want to do it the last weekend because maybe, I don't know why, he didn't want to do it in front of everyone, like she said. So they film it the next week. That is a way that I can kind of digest his motive there, because I'm telling you, I think what people are getting caught up on is it's not the fact that how dare he do this on camera. I think people are just obsessing over the fact that apparently cameras were down and he made a point to pull the cameras back up, but I just don't
she
think
also
it's
had
that
a
much.
bridal shower a couple of weeks ago on camera. There's just a
no.
Oh yes.
God.
There's a lot leading up to this, and I think that people are
devastating. It's going to be very hard to watch.
It's not going to be easy. By no way, like in no way am I saying that this is not devastating, because this is. But at the same time, yes, I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather him do it now. I think I think we'll always be able to argue how early he should have done this. Yeah, but that's always going to be a moving target argument.
Yeah,
we'll always be able to argue. Well, then they should have never dated. Well, then they should have never done this, and they shouldn't have. But I think that if we're looking at the silver lining, and maybe some people don't want to hear this, is that I'd rather it have happened now than in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I also bring up just another?
Go ahead, executive producer. Please bring it up.
I just
bring something up. Bring it up.
You'll hold on, Lauren. You'll be able to relate to and understand this. Yes, you would.
What was that accent?
I don't know.
Delete.
Unsubscribe.
Please don't unsubscribe.
Do not unsubscribe. After 3 months of filming a show, people operate, cast members operate a little bit in an environment that mirrors a pressure cooker. You are kind of forced to confront things that are going on, have conversations that it might take longer to actually materialize. You are experiencing things and feeling feelings and kind of, internally spinning about chewing on things that you wouldn't necessarily
My best friend coming over for dinner tonight may offend me, but I'm not going to probably talk to her about it until, the next time I see her, which may not be for another few weeks, maybe a month, right?
Right.
But on a television show, that's going to be probably in 3 days.
Exactly. Everything is sped up. Everything is a little bit more heightened. Sure. I don't know this to be true, but I would be very surprised if in the 3 months or 2.5 months that they filmed this season, Carl at no point, or Lindsay and Carl are at no point talking about their relationship and talking about maybe challenges or struggles that they are having. Planning a wedding, as we saw for 7 seasons with Kyle and Amanda, is also a stressful time.
Yeah.
We're all running with this idea of the little morsels of information that we're getting that are not verified, that are, that are speculative and allegedly. But I would be very surprised if there is not breadcrumbs that we'll pick up on along the way, or that were filmed along the way. And I think, Carl, maybe this happening at the very end of the season is because in those 2.5 months leading up to it, he was forced to face certain things, thoughts, and feelings that maybe would have been buried for a longer time. That maybe, had it not been for the show,
would have perpetuated him into actual marriage.
And then later divorce.
Correct.
If they're not meant to work out, I'd much rather them break up now than go through the wedding and then have to deal with all the bullshit afterwards.
It's why a lot of times, or oftentimes, I'll find cast members who have gone through divorce on camera will say that in reality, their relationship was probably already in trouble, or there were things that they were already questioning, and the show really just allowed it to kind of come to the surface.
Yeah.
And I really believe that.
Yeah.
I think that when we see people who get divorced, it oftentimes was brewing, unless you're a Ramona and a Mario. Because that to me was this is real.
Yeah.
Not that the other divorces are fake, but do you understand what I'm saying?
That was a real blindside midlife crisis. Yes. Mario just went off the fucking
Correct. So
Mario.
I live in the space of, I definitely want it on camera. And I also understand, I understand where everyone is coming from.
Yeah, that's
in
where
thinking
that,
that's how why is this on camera? Especially if the season had already wrapped. Why do this? You don't need to do this. But the truth is that then what's the payoff? And I don't mean that in the payoff in the sense of we only care about what's the payoff for us as viewers, but
we are invested in their lives.
We are. And I think we also need to look at it with a little bit more of a periphery, in the sense that this was probably their last season.
Yeah.
This story needed to kind of end.
Or then, that could reignite since it was going to be their last season, does this kind of secure them for season 9?
I'm hoping that I'm hoping, and I don't mean any cruelty. I'm hoping that Carl steps away, because I think for him and like his mental health and everything, like I think it would benefit him kind of being away from the show. At least for a season or two. I think it's going to be incredibly challenging if they both are wanting to come back into the summer house, because I don't know that I want to watch a whole season of whatever that's going to be.
Yeah.
But if we just get Lindsay, I mean, I could be okay with that. I just think for Carl, you know, he's still really newly sober. Mm-hmm. You know, he's gone through a lot of stuff. He's worked very hard on himself. And I think that stepping away from this and kind of letting her, if she wants to go, if she wants to be a part of it, letting her kind of have that space and do it by herself, because I really don't want to watch that if it's going to be the both of them trying to navigate and maneuver and all that kind of shit.
Well, some people are saying that then now should Lindsay be a cast member on Real Housewives of New York?
No.
What? What? Who said that?
Well, people are wondering, like, there's like this call to arms. Like, should Lindsay be a cast member on Real Housewives of New York?
Oh, wow. I'm really have to think about that. I mean, my reaction at first was, what? No, but maybe I'll marinate on that. Maybe I'll love that idea, but no, probably not.
I'm against it.
You're against it.
Yeah.
Why?
I think that Lindsay has. I absolutely agree with Betsy that I would be down to see her back on Summer House next season. Because it also seems like, just from the little, like, limited amounts we've seen from social media posts, etc., from the cast, that she has mended fences with many of the rest of the group, especially with the other girls.
Yeah.
Which I
love that.
Which I love that. I'm interested in seeing, and I would like to see her single again. Or look, you never know what the next year brings. She may be in a relationship, but like seeing her as her own entity, right?
Yeah. Carl, I say no, God.
Well, because I just feel like let's just take a break for a second.
I know, but
yeah, but I get it. But
Lindsay loves love.
She does. She loves love, and bless her heart.
And she just celebrated her birthday.
God, insult to injury.
Oh, no. So wait, what is she? Is she a
Leo?
She's a Leo.
Of course she's a Leo.
I
love how executive producer says that like she knows.
I don't know anything about
like of course.
Well, I don't know any characteristics of it. I like that I always ask that, but it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm like, oh, okay, a Leo. I don't even really know what that means, but
very look at me.
Okay, well, I get it then.
Kyle's also a Leo.
So is Amanda.
Kyle, which Kyle?
But it manifests differently.
Kyle Cook?
Yeah.
Okay. It does manifest differently, yeah. And listen, I can speak for Lauren and Eeps. We all would love to see Lindsay happy. I think all Lindsay really wants is to be in a relationship, and I know she wants to have kids, and we are all rooting and for that big time. I think
we're all rooting for you.
I think it would do some help to maybe be single for a little bit. I do think we have to look at ourselves.
Her and Danielle.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, in a relationship?
No, single.
Single again. I was like, wait, what?
I think Danielle should move into the $10,000 or the $13,000 a month apartment.
Yes.
Fucking insane.
And
honestly,
let's have them in Kips Bay.
If the two,
I want to see it.
The two true loves can come together, which to me is Lindsay and Danielle. If their friendship can come back together in a real way, to me, that's a win.
Yeah.
I think that's a win too.
I think that, we all want Lindsay to get everything she deserves. I do think that this relationship, unfortunately, probably was going to come to an end at some point, because I don't think Carl right now in his life really fully knows what he wants and who he is, which is totally fine, but that's not when you step into a marriage. And she likes to bulldoze things, so I think it was kind of fun to go along with it for a while. We've known each other for so long, caught up in the excitement. This is it's a whirlwind,
romanticized.
Yeah. And then the reality set in, and oh my God, all this wedding stuff is happening, and oh my God. And listen, he pulled the plug. And I know it's upsetting, but like Lauren said, better sooner than later, because I do think, unfortunately, there was going to be a later.
Yeah, I same.
Yeah.
So. Wow, echo everything you just said. Couldn't have said it better myself.
But,
There you go.
Now, shall we get into the Real Housewives of Child Protective Services?
Oh, God.
Let's
do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Wake
Guys,
up.
I want everyone to personally DM the Reality Bites Instagram account and call out and give a shout out rather to executive producer, because she loves it. She loves the fan mail. She loves receiving fan mail.
Guys.
She loves y'all.
Did you hear that?
God, stop it.
I'm doing my best Casey Kasem impression.
Stop it, guys.
It's okay. We don't need to do it too.
No, I don't need it either. No one needs it.
I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
Yeah,
I'm teasing. Okay, so executive producer, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about Shannon? And to tell the truth,
Shannon is so problematic.
okay.
She makes me laugh, and I love her, but I can't take it.
Are you a Shannon sympathizer?
In this, no. This is ridiculous.
But to me, Shannon is so ridiculous that I kind of love it because it's not affecting story. You know what I mean? Because she's getting caught, and every time she goes to the camera, and it's like, I don't want this on camera. I know. Well, I can't say I know, but when that happens in real life, when it's happened to me, I know that they're going to put it in. I'm reveling and I'm kind of basking in that spotlight of, God, I love Shannon because it's so bad, it's good.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not affecting story. I mean, it is affecting story. I just posted about it the other day about how it'd be one thing if she didn't tell the group. If she keeps it to herself, it becomes a totally different problem where I know that they're lying or they're not being truthful about what's going on in their lives. But at that point, they control that independently, right? It doesn't have an effect on anyone else. But when they tell the entire group, and then they also expect the entire group to remain this loyalty or to have this loyalty that remains, that they're never going to talk about it. Well, that's when I'm like, okay, that's not going to happen. And that's just not how it's going to go. But in this case, because Shannon is doing both, but somehow it's working in our favor, and every time she tries to evade, it shows on camera that she's evading, so they show that.
Oh, yeah.
And so then it just, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I'm just talking about how we should be showing Carl and Lindsay on camera. And in this, I'm like, I kind of like that she's lying about it because it just shows us how delusional.
Well, it's just so obvious.
I know, but it's so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as my girl Heather said in the scene with she and Shannon, it was an interview by, Shannon. Shannon's like, it's a violation of the vault, and Heather's I think says, what the vault? There's no vault. You've given everyone the combination. I mean, that's my thing. It's like Shannon.
That's exactly right.
Just because you were blackout or brownout and don't remember calling people and venting doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah,
correct.
She's so delusional. I kind of love it though.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you like how it's happening?
I like how it's happening from a comedy standpoint. I do wish that there was some level of accountability.
Yeah.
And the other part of this too, which I just think is so wild, which we've talked about off mic, all of us, is the Tamra portion of all of this.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, guys, Tamara's the one kind of to blame for all of this.
Yes.
But she's like bobbing and weaving and dodging
Is
the
she
shit.
though? I think people are sniffing it out.
Well, I'll tell you who's not sniffing it out.
Shannon's the only one. Though.
I know. Shannon always gets taken.
Shannon's the only one.
She's always there for the taking with Tamra.
Yeah, but Shannon's
you know what
the
I mean?
only one. I know.
She's always there for the taking. I need Vicky.
Where has Vicky been? I need Vicky
I think she's
back.
coming. She's coming soon, hopefully.
She is coming soon, and she's going to be on that
crossed.
Castro. She's expensive.
She is expensive. And you know what? She's worth it.
She is worth it. I need Vicky on this.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
Shannon is horrific.
Okay. So I'm dying for your opinion on this.
I wrote in my notes in all caps at the beginning of my notes, which weren't very long, I'm done with Shannon. I do.
Done.
Wow.
I do agree that, listen, she absolutely has comedy within her. I was really, really, really mad at her this entire episode. And then they did that fucking pumpkin, relay race. And then I thought, oh my God, Shannon is, comedy gold. And then I kind of had a soft spot for her again. I'm very, very annoyed with everything Shannon does. I do agree with you that it's not working. So I'm not as annoyed as I would be if she was fooling people, but she's fooling nobody, including herself. But I hate the fact that she never, ever, ever takes any accountability. She never apologizes. The only thing that we ever came close to Shannon ever really apologizing in I'll put this in quotations, a real way, was when I don't even know what season it was, but when Eddie had to get his heart worked on, and Shannon didn't even ask like how everything was going, and Tamara's like, you don't even fucking ask about me. I need you. And then Shannon's like, you're right. I'm sorry. And then that was it. And I think that's really the only time we've ever gotten a real apology from her. And I hate that kind of shit. And all she does is step in her own shit all the time. And I'm just kind of over her. I feel like she's trying so hard to ride on a high horse. And the thing that really kicked it over the edge for me, this is actually when I wrote I'm done with Shannon, is when she said that fall is her least favorite season, that she hates fall.
Fuck that.
Wait, what? When did she say that?
I said, I'm done with you, Shannon.
Oh, I tracked
when they were
that.
fucking carving out those pumpkins. She's like, I hate fall. She called herself the Scrooge of fall. She hates pumpkins. She hates the colors. She hates the dead. So like Halloween is what she said. And listen, guys, the fall is the best season there is. So I just knew that was like the exclamation mark on my paragraph that I had in my head watching this episode. That was like, Shannon's really not doing it for me. And then she said that towards the end of the episode that she hated fall, and I said, nail in the coffin for me. I'm done with Shannon. But
That's kind of funny that you said nail in the coffin because she hates Halloween.
But then, she did the relay race, and I laughed at her. So I don't know where I am with Shannon, but she is annoying the shit out of me.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with that.
There's a lot, and there's nothing. It's one of those really weird things where there's a lot of commotion, but then when you actually talk to her, like there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but there really isn't.
Remember all of her hand motions?
Yeah, it's the moving papers on a desk to look
Yes,
busy.
it is.
There's not really anything happening.
Nothing is on the papers either.
Also, I don't give a fuck about John Jansen. I'm sorry.
Who cares?
I wish I could care about this. I don't. Very much like you don't care about Carl and Lindsay. I don't care about Shannon and John Jansen. I really don't. I think John Jansen's a loser.
Yeah.
And I think Shannon deserves better. And I know that doesn't mean anything by what, like, my opinion about that means nothing to Shannon or to anybody else. But I want to get on board with this John Jansen story. I can't get on board with it with the lying. I can't get on board with it with caring enough that he doesn't care. I can't care enough about him in the limelight. I guess that's a thing. That's a problem. He's not important enough for me to care about.
Well,
No,
also,
I agree.
It also makes it hard to care about or invest in him and this when we know that they're broken up.
Right.
I know. That's always a fucking conundrum.
So it's kind of, whether it's conscious or subconscious, I don't think that I can get invested at all because I know that they don't last. I know that everyone is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know? But Shannon is just doing the most, and she's doing too much.
She's doing too much.
She's doing too much, guys.
Well, we start off this episode with Heather Dubrow and Terry, guys. Terry is Betsy's favorite person.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let you carry it away.
Well, because my two favorite people were in this scene, which is Heather and Josh Altman.
Yeah.
Love.
And we'll then juxtapose against Heather and Terry Dubrow. There's a kinship there, right?
Yes.
They're very similar. I get it, the couples. But then I felt like Terry was doing the most in this scene when he was trying to pretend like he didn't know that the house was going to be sold. Now, they do sign on the dotted line, but I thought about Betsy a lot in this scene.
The
Bad acting.
Oh yeah, the terrible acting. which is really cool. At the end of the scene, we find out that
They signed.
Mm-hmm. So this is a big deal. $55 million. It's the third highest sale.
Yeah,
right?
in the OC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the OC.
Josh Altman loves a record.
Oh, he really does love a record. He really does. But this is kind of leading us to the idea that we know that this is going to be a problem because Heather doesn't tell anybody that she sells the house.
Right.
Do you think this is an issue?
No.
I don't understand why this is going to be a problem.
I don't
Please
get it
somebody
either.
explain this to me.
It's this you know what? It's this cockamamie mentality that we've seen on other shows as well, where it's like, why you're not sharing big moments in your life?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Do you not value us as friends?
Yeah, that's
why
exactly
aren't
what
you
it is.
opening
Are you
up?
fucking serious?
It's gonna be that dumb shit that we've seen on 15 other shows.
Well, then
that
why
always
isn't
becomes a thing.
Then
and
why
I have
isn't
no idea
Shannon
why.
sharing about John Jansen?
Well, right.
Ding ding ding.
Hypocrisy.
Taco night.
Fucking taco night.
I just think of Emily being like, if I'm missing this is how you know it's real.
Yeah.
Because I'll never,
I love tacos.
I'll never miss taco night.
Yeah, Eats nailed it on the head. It's just that, like, why didn't you share that with us? We're your friends. Because it's all about them, right?
But I agree with Heather that if she shared it, it'd be like braggadocious and shit.
I mean, listen,
She's damned if she.
Yeah, I'm not a Heather stan like Resident Eeps, but I got to be honest, she can't win.
No,
she can't win at either one. Cause she said in her confessional, I think it was during that scene, she's like, if I talk about my issues, it's my problems are worse than everyone else's. If I say something that I'm, trying to celebrate, I'm gloating or, I'm gaudy, whatever. But it's kind of true. And I think, unfortunately for Heather, it's just sometimes the way she talks. I mean, she is so fucking condescending. But, I do believe that, like, she doesn't always mean, like, ill intent. No. And she does. She gets, she gets
I think she's tone deaf for sure.
Oh, totally. She's tone deaf and she's completely out of touch. But, that doesn't mean that certain feelings aren't valid for her.
No, absolutely.
I can understand her not wanting to share this with the group.
Absolutely. Well, we find out later that this is during the time where those horrid paparazzi photos came out. I was wondering if we were going to see it on the show because I knew... I knew that they had done... Well, I definitely had. I remember last summer or whenever the fuck it was. And I remember thinking like, oh, is this going to be on the show? Well, lo and behold.
Yeah.
We do end up seeing it towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But this is during the time that they were selling their house. And I'm just trying to... I think that... Well, now I'm wondering, executive producer, did we talk about this last summer about... her releasing the sell of the house as a way to deflect from the cheating rumors that ended up trying to be deflected through these paparazzi photos?
I think that sounds familiar. Okay. And I kind of think that we may have.
Well, because here's the thing, because I don't think that you're wrong. I think that somebody like Tamara is going to be like, why aren't you sharing your life? And Shannon, they're all going to be hypocritical. But there is going to be something to be said with, are there problems in their marriage that they're not sharing?
I'm sure.
In a way that is out there with the press, but they're not talking about it on the show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but...
and will that track? Will that argument work then?
Now, are you kind of relating that back to how... like the Shannon.
Well, yeah, because I'm saying like that's a hypocritical argument.
Well, here's where I am going to say that my girl Shamps McGee is in the right, because if there are things going on in their marriage, which there very well might be. I mean, you're married for that long.
Yeah,
your kid, 2 of your 4 kids.
You're talking about cheating though. At that point, that's what the rumors were.
It's right. It's Terry cheating.
Yes,
that's the rumors. Whether that's true or not, we have no idea.
I know. Betsy can't imagine that another woman would do this.
But here's what's not happening. Heather's not calling up any of the other women and talking to them about her marital problems, which there is an argument to be made on either side as to if that's right or not. However, just sticking to the facts, Heather is not talking about this with other people on or off camera. And Shannon is calling all of them up drunk and venting and then claiming to not be the case.
Put it in the vault.
Put it in the vault.
And shut it tight.
It's get out of here. That's where that argument fails to me. Now, do I think it's possible that that Terry cheated or that they're having marital problems? Sure, anything's possible. But, I just don't think it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I also was probably one of the few people that didn't hear these rumors at all until they brought it up on the show. So
they're pretty good at keeping that out of the press.
Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I don't know. I mean, I think it could definitely be possible, but I don't know. I'm honestly kind of more shocked that Heather went to a amusement park. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Can you imagine that? You know what I mean? Like, God. What do you think Heather does at the amusement park? Do you think she does any of the rides?
She sits on the bench.
Yeah.
And eats
she just looks.
Under like a napkin, they're like a cloth napkin. She like puts it down on the bench and then sits down.
And eats a Cinnabon with a limoncello. You know what I mean? Because amusement park lemonade is the best.
That fucking photo was really so funny.
Yeah.
That photo was so funny.
I mean, it is. I'm sorry. Tamara's not wrong. Like, they're like pointing off.
It's so
very...
Yeah.
It's very Olin Mills.
It is. I just speak from my personal experience. Anytime I've been in and around Orange County, I don't see paparazzi just randomly about, uncalled.
Well, they were at Disneyland.
Oh, they were all at Disneyland, those photos?
Yeah.
Oh, then whatever.
Yeah, Teddy can fuck off.
By the way, quick jump scare. jump scare.
I was so annoyed.
Guys, it's Teddy Mellencamp on the phone. Yeah, we got it. We have a podcast together. I think everybody watching this show, it's safe to say that we know.
Yeah, thanks.
We know you. We're trying to forget about it, Tamara. We're trying to give you a pass, baby. But then you just keep bringing it up.
Can I ask you guys a question? Honest opinion. What was worse, seeing Teddy pop up in the FaceTime on this, or seeing Meredith Marks pop up at Heather at Erin's party?
Meredith, because I had to see Meredith. Teddy, at least we didn't have to see her, and it was very quick, and she sounded so like blah. That it was over fast.
I would say Meredith Marks.
I was devastated to see. I was like, "Why the fuck isn't Lisa Barlow coming here?"
We got Brooks as well.
And it was Brooks.
By the way, and we can't talk about it right this second, but we'll have to talk about it maybe at the end. That starts next week.
I'm not ready for that. You know what? Never mind. I am. I'm ready for Lisa.
Only Lisa.
I'm ready to rip that show to shreds, but celebrate Lisa.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, moving on. So,
okay, I know I've talked about it before, and I just want to ask one more time: would you be okay with Heather Dubrow being on Beverly Hills? Because because at this point in the show, they need a bigger place. We find out later they end up buying this house that they're completely gutting. How do you feel about it?
Listen, I'm going to surprise both y'all, and I'm going to say I'm open to it.
Okay.
And I'm open.
Okay.
All right.
Whoa. Eves almost literally stood out of her chair. She almost, I really surprised her.
I'm bringing someone to my side.
This is what I'm going to say. Well, wait. This is what I'm going to say.
Back it up.
I'm open to it because I want to see how it works, okay? I'm not necessarily thinking that it's going to be a match, but I also don't know. Like, I don't have a ton of reasons why the answer would be no. So in that case, I want to leave the door open. Let me see how it mixes and mingles. Because what I will tell you, and I'm embarrassed to say this now, but when I first found out that Denise Richards was going to be on Beverly Hills, I was like, oh God, I don't want to see that. And then she ended up being like one of my absolute fucking favorite people. Not that it's going to be the same thing, but I'm saying I'm open to seeing how it goes. Okay. But one and done, maybe.
And I feel like you're a little bit more open to it now than you were maybe in the last few months, because we've taken a liking to Taylor on OC.
We have.
Yes.
And I don't think that we thought we were going to like that. And I think that is proving us wrong. And I'm thinking, why not?
But do you think, I mean, I feel like I know the answer to this, but would there ever be a possibility where Heather could entertain being a friend of? I mean, I guess who would she be a friend of? Or do you think she would have to be like an A-cast?
I could see her being a friend of.
But who's she friends with?
She's friends.
I'm not trying to be a bitch. I don't know.
No, but all of them in acting. I mean, she definitely knows Garcelle.
Yeah.
She definitely knows Lisa Rinna, even though Lisa Rinna's not there.
If she can come in under Garcelle's wing, I think that would make I think that could maybe sway some opinions. And I'm talking about my opinion. Not saying for sure.
But possible.
But it's possible. I mean, if she comes under Kyle, it's going to be bad taste in my mouth. Looking at you, Lauren.
You know, Beverly Hills starts soon too. That starts in November, so
I'm ready for that.
We'll save that for November, but I'm open to it. We'll see.
Okay. Obviously, we know what executive producer's opinion is.
I say yes, but I also say yes.
How do you have more to elaborate on this?
I want to see Heather be challenged with a different crop of women.
By Kyle. I'm just kidding.
By Garcelle, by Erica,
could do it.
I want to see if she can like fucking hold her own.
Could you imagine the two of them running lines together?
Oh my God! Never mind.
Malibu Country.
I just went to
the reboot.
I just went to a yes exclamation mark. I have got to see them run lines together. Oh, the comedy is just waiting for me.
It should be its own like mini series.
Oh,
I'm here for it, like an after show.
Like they reintroduce the pods every episode, and it's just 30 seconds to a minute of them running lines.
Kyle and Heather just do reenactments. That's what I want to see. Total reenactments.
It's true. Guys, Lauren dropped her vape pen, so
we
she's
always
off mic for a second.
Always lose things.
Call me out. Yeah, I did drop it.
And from the couch.
And okay,
anyway, so
we're at the Harley Davidson.
Oh, vroom, baby.
Vroom.
Okay. Nothing fits over my head. So I feel Emily Simpson's like pain. Hats don't fit me. Helmets don't fit me. Mm-hmm. Nothing fits me. That's all.
That was your note.
Guys, if you saw her face, she was going somewhere, but then
we were all waiting with you.
Guys, I dropped the vape pen. That's it. I'm just here to be the MC, okay? And I was wanting somebody to go, I feel the same, but obviously no one does. And anyway,
well,
what? Oh no! This is where we find out that Shannon has said all the things about CPS.
Oh yeah.
And both Gina and Emily are both like, okay, obviously that wouldn't happen. And let's be very clear here: Emily's not wrong. Obviously, she's an attorney. We know they're not just going to come and take your kids because you have a Dewey.
No, get a grip.
I got a Dewey. I don't have children, so I don't know anything about this. But it's just not a thing like that. I was still allowed to drive after it happened.
Yeah.
Not that I'm promoting DUIs, but I got one in my early 20s before Uber existed.
Here's the thing. Gina has every right to be absolutely livid.
Correct.
This is because it's not just your friend bringing up kind of fucked up shit to your other friends. She's doing it on national television.
We've also never heard this before. It would be one thing if when this happened, however many years ago, there'd be something to flash to because this would be a topic of conversation.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't. So where did this come from, Shannon?
And the thing is that we as the viewers know that she said it. We witnessed it on camera.
I know, it's so great. So Shannon's so bad at this.
She's so bad at this.
She is so bad at this. She might be one of the worst offenders I've ever. Well, and Lisa Rinna.
Yeah,
where they just don't remember.
I don't remember that. But also, Shannon may not remember. I think some she does, and then some she definitely doesn't.
Well, I don't think Lisa Rinna necessarily remembers everything either.
Oh, well,
no, but it's just a shame when
you think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think she remembered near death right away.
Yeah, there it is. Ding, 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 ding. It was only verbatim. What they said back, but whatever. Yeah, that was one of the main reasons I was very, very annoyed with Shannon, and we'll kind of get into it later when they're at the pumpkin dinner. But here's Gina at the worst, really her
lowest
bottom, rock bottom, getting the DWI, shamed, embarrassed, all this stuff. And not only does Shannon continuously bring it up, also just to remind us that happened, but it's also to elevate herself because she was the savior. She helped Gina. So it becomes a conversation about how great Shannon is, but also at Gina's
expense.
Yeah.
It's like Bethany saying that she saved Luann de Lesseps' life.
Oh my God, yes.
It's just insufferable. And I think I love when Emily, because she is an attorney and she actually has knowledge further than Shannon does, since Shannon only went to 1 year of law school. Emily makes a point to point that out to us. But I'm also just going to say, my sister, who's a high school counselor, unfortunately has to, actually not so much now as she did when she was an elementary school counselor. She had to call CPS every single day. And if that's an exaggeration, it was at least multiple times a week, which is horrifying.
Are you serious?
That's terrible.
The amount that they didn't do was a lot. And not necessarily because they didn't care, but because they're so understaffed, so much is going on. So it's unlikely that a CPS situation would have been even remotely close to happening to somebody like Gina, who got arrested for a DWI, who also has another parent that they could have gone to. It just wouldn't have happened. Mm-mm. And so I do kind of like the fact that we have Emily, who can really speak upon this very intelligently, to kind of shut the conversation down, because it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't exactly remember what happened. Was she driving with the kids?
No, I don't think so. I think she was coming back from a happy hour or brunch or something.
Because I saw online that somebody was saying that, because I think it was in response to somebody saying, this shouldn't be talked about, or why is Shannon bringing them up? And, it's not as if though she put her kids in danger. And then I think it was it was a viewer. It was it was a netizen saying, well, no, she did put her kids in danger. She did. And I was like, wait, did I not recall what happened? I don't remember, but it had nothing to do with the kids.
No. Maybe in the sense that if she got into a wreck and something happened to her, but no. Okay. I think where it's stemming from is because Gina didn't show up to court or something happened, and apparently she was going to get arrested the next day. So that's where the CPS comes in, that, we're going to arrest her because she didn't go to court, and then who's going to take care of the kids? Well, they have a dad. Like,
Correct.
It's all very silly. And as Emily said, CPS is not showing up for that. No. And I would second that.
And I also, and I know that this is jumping ahead and we'll come back, we'll get there, but Emily at Taylor's party, her bringing up that it was just a bench warrant that was issued, that there weren't going to be cops showing up to Gina's house to arrest her the next morning.
Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they don't come for you?
Bad boys.
Bad boys.
Yeah. They weren't showing up.
No.
That doesn't happen.
Mm-mm.
It just doesn't happen. All right. Well, next scene, we have to entertain John and Shannon at home.
Oh,
early
my God.
morning.
It was like this. Excuse the noise. And I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? And then I go, and he's like scratching her back. And I thought, could this be any more try hard? I've had secondhand embarrassment. He did not want to be touching her.
So
she didn't
bad.
want
Also,
him to be touching her.
Tamra.
Either.
She comes in, she's like, you staying over?
Yeah.
Because even Tamra, we all know the truth. Tamra also, I feel like, low-key wants to expose this.
Oh, yeah.
But she's just taking her time.
What gave
She's
it away?
And she's letting everybody else do it for her.
Yeah, because she's bringing it up in every scene to
I
everyone else.
love how I just sound like I just discovered something brand new.
Y'all, now let's get to the bottom. Let's get to the bottom of it. Do we think he spent the night?
No.
No, I don't either.
He came over early just to make it seem like
Early
he spent
as
the night.
fuck.
Not even early. He probably got there 10 minutes before that scene,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Here,
I don't
throw
think
a
he's
mic on real quick. I'm going to scratch your back.
Yeah. Now make sure you're not staying for breakfast, but make sure you're here when Tamara gets here. Because we know Tamara will take it away.
Yeah.
God.
She did.
They're good in that department. They have plenty of sex. The whole scene,
Cringe.
the only thing I was excited about was the weather, because I'm so accustomed to California and LA and SoCal weather. I could feel how cool it was.
The breeze.
I could feel that it was a nice 68, 70 degrees.
I wish that.
What I give.
I could feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think, executive producer?
Here's my thing. I think Tamara's doing the most. I think actually Tamara and Shannon are kind of up for debate.
Like frickin' frack.
Like frickin' frack. Mm-hmm. This whole, to me, it didn't feel like they had kind of talked ahead of time and orchestrated it, but it read to me like two veterans who were effectively doing this like self-produced type of scene, but on the fly, like improv, talking about like,
I could get behind that.
I've mentioned that I want marriage, but yes, it does bother me and it makes me worry.
They were saying just enough.
They were saying just enough, but without actually saying anything.
Fucking anything.
And that comes with experience.
And that comes with fucking ton of experience.
Yeah.
And I saw that. And Tamara's pursed lips. And in the eyes, and the pensive eyes when she's like, and every reaction shot to whatever Shannon was saying, she'd be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I get that. That was basically the verbal embodiment of whatever Tamara was saying.
Yeah. Well, it was as
rather.
if, I mean, Shannon seemed totally sedated in that scene when from beginning to end. Now, it was as if someone had told, like, maybe she and John spoke or something. He's like, listen, you got to give a little to shut them up. So Tamara's the perfect partner for that because they have a long-standing friendship and it is what it is. She probably felt like if I'm going to tell anyone anything, which is pretty much nothing, but if I'm going to say anything to anyone, it will be Tamara.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think that's what we saw. We finally saw like, well, do y'all go to therapy? Yeah, I have a therapist. Yeah, but does John go with you? Yeah. So we talk about, I'm like, okay, so does he?
She never,
like,
no.
She never really answers any questions, but then she feels like she has to give something, right? Like, well, talk about comedy. He's an avoider. I'm a communicator.
He's a conflict avoider.
I was like,
averse.
I got my next video. I'm going to do a ton of clips of Shannon avoiding. Shannon, I love you. You are an avoider. You are not a communicator. But John, he's a conflict avoider, and I like to communicate. So we're at a standstill.
Was it giving you, Betsy, the Watch What Happens live appearance? So what happened? And Shannon's like, remember?
Yeah, remember when she got kicked out of the bar or the restaurant or whatever?
Because Shannon and the stepdaughter get into a disagreement.
Yeah.
Yes,
and Andy is like, so what happened? John and I are good. We're fine. And then he's like, okay,
but
what happened?
All of those vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Maybe she communicated nothing. So maybe she is a communicator. I don't know. I thought that was so funny.
And she seems to think that just because she looks like she just woke up, we're all going to believe that this is her. This is her raw. This is, by the way, that's what the scene is supposed to evoke, by the way.
Yes.
That's the tone of the scene. This scene, absolutely.
Dressed down and raw.
It's dressed down. I guarantee you. I mean, I don't want to speak for producers, but I feel like this was very like Shannon.
Early morning.
Or this was like a Shannon run scene where they're like, we'll give Shannon, like, we'll show her with John in the morning. It's either fine. It'll be very dressed down. It'll be raw. It feels like it's not carte blanche, but it's very like when you, I would look at it like when you're trying to allow your cast member to feel as if they came up with the idea themselves, but really you just need them there. And so you'll say things like, it'll be raw, like, you know, dress down, like don't wear makeup. And I think that that'll really show you, and it will. And I would absolutely say that to any cast member.
100%.
But in this particular case with Shannon, it just feels very like to allow her to feel the space to speak her truth, which she says nothing at all.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I said, you say it best when you say nothing at all.
And Tamara is feeding the fire.
Tamara's co-signing this as well as also understanding, I think, that she is allowing Shannon to like shoot herself in the foot.
No, and it is not fair to allow Heather, Gina, and Emily to fall on the sword of who's spreading the rumors. It's just bullshit.
It is.
And I need Tamara to level up and call her friend out.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing? She's done it before.
Okay. But it has to, I mean.
Why can't she do it now? I'm disappointed. Look, do I think she is going to do it? No.
But why are you disappointed?
Because we had to watch seasons where she talked about how Shannon was never there for her as a friend, and all she did was call her at all hours of the night. She herself has been privy and party to this. So why wouldn't
she needs to be calling this?
Yeah, but even that season, she didn't confront Shannon until somebody else had to bring it up, and she was forced to confront it. For all we know, she would have never confronted Shannon.
Right,
she would just talked about it behind her back.
That is true.
All right, okay, stand corrected. Stand corrected.
Here's the thing. I'm disappointed. I'll say that my disappointment in this comes from Tamara. You took a break. You came back.
Exactly.
We know that you're paid a lot of money to come back. Step the fuck up. Not even level up. Just step the fuck up.
I know that she's probably afraid of whatever friendship she has with Shannon.
Yeah.
I know that. But we need to hear the truth. And I don't need to hear Teddy.
Yeah. I'll take a hard pass on Teddy. Any day.
We need to stop wasting runtime. Okay, so do you think that John is just afraid to get married? Yes, I do. No, I think he's just afraid to get married to Shannon.
That's what I
don't mean to say that, and I don't mean to be ugly, but again, it's just like I want to get on board with John Jansen. I think I cared more about Vicky's boyfriend. What was his name?
Oh yeah, Rick. No. What was his name?
Well, this is the irony.
Was it Rick?
We care more about
that's
nameless
wrong.
boyfriend than we do.
No, the
John
guy.
Jansen.
Yeah, the motorcycle guy.
Yeah, what's his name? The sheriff. The guy who ran for mayor.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, right. What was his name? Shit.
Vicky, if you're out there.
Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed, guys. If you're listening, which you are, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Anyway, I just cared more about Vicky's boyfriends than I have. I just John Jansen's just not the one for me.
No, I've never really cared about him. He's very, very blah. So if the idea that he loves the limelight is true, I'm baffled.
No sex toys.
Because he has no chemistry. Okay. Whatever.
Steve Lodge.
Steve!
Oh, thank you.
Steve. I mean, I was close with Rick.
I knew he had a trucker name.
One syllable.
Isn't that kind of trucker?
Yes. Yeah.
It's very trucker.
Steve Lodge, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
Jen and Ryan.
Blech.
Well, that puppy was cute.
Puppy was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? I kind of think we need it. I think we need the absurdity. I think we need the delusion. I think we need the quasi affair. We need the Danielle Steele, the Harlequin romance. Like we need.
Listen,
they play an important part, I think, to this season. In that way.
Yeah.
She's one of my absolute favorites. Jen, I love you.
I love Jen.
So if I have to put up with Ryan in a scene shirtless,
I don't care.
I'll do it.
I'm gonna co-sign Ryan. I'm gonna co-sign Ryan because Jen co-signs, and Jen doesn't care. And I think if we didn't have this like Hudsucker, whatever the fuck, what is the fuck is he wearing in the interview?
That used car salesman Danny DeVito from Matilda.
Oh, that's what it looks like to me. Yes,
me.
he reminds me of Danny DeVito from Matilda. And he's wearing
blazer.
that. Yes. What is it called? It's the picnic table fabric.
It's like a certain type of plaid.
Gingham.
Yeah,
it's like gingham with like there's a lot going on there.
Not good.
Jen, I love you. Just like Betsy, I want to echo that. I love Jen. I love this relationship. If we didn't have this, I don't think we'd be complete this season of Real Housewives of Orange County. I'm sorry. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do.
And I don't think I'm articulating that very well. But
I agree with you. I think that this is like this ridiculous story that we're tracking in this ridiculous relationship where we're actually seeing all of the things. It's like Shannon and John Jansen are ridiculous in their own right, but it's all about withholding and hiding and covering up and trying to spin. Like Jen and Ryan, there is an absurdity there. He is totally fucking cheeseball, little weird, like not creepy, but like he's just he's
just kind of skeezy. Right. Is skeezy the right word?
Skeezy, yes.
Yeah.
He's skeezy. But there is this like absurdity to it that also has some cringeworthy comedy.
Yeah. Listen, I'm here for it because I feel like she knows exactly what she's doing. I feel
yes, that's what it feels like. It feels like she's in on it.
Yeah, I feel like she's not a woman who's like getting the wool pulled over her eyes. She's in that scene. He's like, well, let's get married, and she's like, bump the brakes. No, we're not doing that. I don't know that I want to do that. And then she kind of admits like there was another woman. No, we were on a break. There was another woman.
Yes,
so, like,
there was.
She's got everything,
and he gets very defensive about this.
She's seeing it clearly, y'all. And
were you? Like, obviously, you weren't surprised at how defensive he got when he was talking about the other woman. I was like, what?
No, yeah.
She's not mad about it. Like, she's mad, but she's not mad. Does that make sense? Like,
well, it's more of like an accountability. Like, I'm still with you. We're still doing this together, but
I need some acknowledgement here.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to get married right now, which I'm living for this relationship. I don't need a marriage.
Oh, no.
And I don't need an engagement. And I don't know if Jen needs that either.
No, she doesn't.
And I think that she knows that a little bit. So he gets very defensive, and I'm like, but she's not wrong. And she's also like not holding it against you. So why are you acting as though she's holding it against you? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I also think he's playing for cameras. She's playing it real. Like him going hard on the marriage and the when are we doing this? To me, it reads like it's not that he's in the relationship for the cameras, but that he's playing this up for the cameras, whereas she's actually just being authentic and the cameras are there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. I can see that.
I see that.
And we flash to him going diamond ring shopping.
Yeah, I mean, he's
diamond
goof,
shopping.
So
yeah, I mean,
that's what it is. Very goof troop. Very
goof troop. Like I always say, goof troop. So he's super goofy. And, you know, I would love for her not to be with him, but she's driving her own ship and I will be with her on the ship.
Yeah.
I think she's
You'll go down with the ship.
I mean, I think I will.
White flag upon your door.
Yeah.
I'm in love and always will be. Okay, so Eddie and Tamara are working out. Eddie's in head to toe cut fitness gear at somebody else's gym.
Yeah.
Is the gym gone? It's gone, right?
Yeah, it's gone.
Why? What is the deal? Is he offering? Okay,
he doesn't want to let go. Maybe
is it that? Is he offering like privates or something?
No, I think he's just having trouble letting go.
Sad, guys.
I think he's having trouble, letting go because I think if the business is gone, even if you're having privates, it's not going to be cut fitness. It's going to have to be something else.
That makes me sad for them.
Yeah.
For him.
What's his purpose now? What does he want?
Yeah, that's kind of what Tamara.
Well,
says.
How are you feeling about Eddie and Tamara? When you're watching them, does it feel like there's something missing?
Feels a little stiff.
Yeah, I don't think that they're doing well at all.
I wonder, are they okay?
And listen, we talk about Shannon, we talk about Gina, we talk about Jen, all this stuff. What have we seen with Tamara and Eddie? Nothing.
Really nothing.
Like we see scenes like this where they work out. We've seen her casually mention the sex life is dry. Like we saw her mention that to Shannon, but we don't have any follow up on that. We have nothing with them.
That's why Tamara's co-signing the Shannon shit.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't want to get into the...
That's why.
Maybe there's shit going on with Eddie.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Because think about it. We are focusing on the loss of the business, which is a big personal story.
I think
but that directly affects Eddie really more so than it affects Tamara. So maybe he's really down on himself. He's not feeling good about himself. And maybe they're having some issues.
And we're not seeing those conversations.
And we're not seeing those conversations at all.
We actually haven't seen any real personal conversations with them the entire season.
Since she came back.
And exactly. And knowing what used to be and seeing their conversations throughout the dating
Shannon
process,
stuff and
the
all that
engagement.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a lot more open. This
feels like we know nothing.
I get clean.
Exactly.
It's
I feel like
mirrors.
I get much more with
Emily and Shane.
Exactly.
Honestly.
And like even Terry and fucking Heather.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
because the only thing that we've gotten that feels like very like I don't want to say it's like real, but a little bit more layered with their relationship is Tamara having to tell Eddie what Ryan supposedly said about her when she walked into the gym. Like, I'm gonna fuck her. And even then, we talked about it then. I think we felt like, how did Eddie really feel about that? Because it just didn't feel as though Eddie, I mean, it felt like
fake.
It felt as though he cared, but it didn't feel as though he was committed in that feeling that, you know.
Well, it felt like maybe they were having that conversation for the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Also, then I think about the fact of when we started the season, not that this is some big issue with their marriage, but we started the season knowing that Tamara's mom has moved in.
Right.
We have not seen any follow-up from that. Like, let's say Tamara and Eddie are having some issues, that Eddie is going through something and feeling a little down on himself because Cut Fitness is closing. Well,
sure.
Why not see Tamara and her mom at home on the couch having a glass of wine and talking about things? We actually haven't talked about mom living there once since we saw that scene. And that was a great opener.
It was.
I know. What is going on?
Something doesn't smell right.
Huh.
I think we're onto something. I don't know.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think that there's shit going on that she's not talking about, which is why she's co-signing Shannon being evasive.
But she's also very quick to point out that those pictures of Heather, those paparazzi photos, are fake. And she doesn't care what Heather did in the 1900s. She's not A-list. Paparazzi do not give a fuck.
Look, she still serves
maybe
good
she's Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
but I need the Dolly Parton look to pass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready for it to pass.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Oh, and Shannon's pink look. We're almost there. We got a new look this episode.
Yeah.
From Shannon.
We did.
And that means that the pink is, I'm sorry. I can't look at it anymore.
Flamingo.
Yeah,
it has to go.
You know what it is? It's giving me Nene season 7.
Are you about to say, is it the...
It's that wig.
Oh,
remember the wig where it looks jagged?
It's like bangs that are jagged, and it's like a bob.
Y'all
but
know
it's
it.
Not like
Y'all
sleek.
know it.
It's blonde.
Oh, yeah, I do know.
You know exactly.
Yeah.
Bad.
It's a rough deal.
It is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to entertain this. It's getting stale. Should I get a sex toy? And he's like, hey,
we'll do some leather and lingerie.
He's so weird. He's so weird about it. It feels like he doesn't even, he's like, yeah.
They're not having sex. And I'll tell you, in fact, I forgot about this until Eeps brought up the first scene when the mom was there. I remember because it was their intro scene back to the show.
Yeah.
And I remember that scene heavily being all about sex.
Yes,
and I thought
it was weirding out the mom.
Well, it was weirding out the mom. It was weirding out this viewer named Betsy. And I'm
we
not
all
crude,
thought we did,
but it was as if it was kind of like so put on. And to me, looking back on the years of OC, Tamara and Eddie have always been kind of sexual. They've always had a lot of chemistry. So it's not that it felt fake. It just felt really forced and over the top, as if they haven't been having sex. And they have to overcompensate for this is what we need to do this time. Oh, we're going to be slapping each other, moaning. And I'm like, what is this? It just felt a lot. Because you remember, it was the whole scene they were talking about it. And so I just wonder if it's more than maybe just not having sex. Maybe if other things are going on that
I feel like it's other things too.
It's, accumulating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something ain't sitting right.
But yeah.
Just had to get one in, didn't you? Just had to get a little one-liner in.
A little zinger.
Yeah. All right, so Shannon and Heather.
Oof.
as Betsy also likes to call this, Shannon's best work. Or no, sorry, Heather's best work. Because the tear.
Well, she really tried. No, it didn't even fall in the cheek. That's why she shoved her napkin in her eye.
She did.
There was nothing. Yeah, she did a Candace. There was nothing to wipe away from the cheek.
It's almost as if, do we even talk about this scene? I'm going to tell you why. Because Shannon doesn't believe any of it. I felt as though we left that scene that Shannon was like, okay, cool.
Literally.
Well, here's the one thing I want to say.
I would never do anything to
Okay,
maybe you can put this lunch on your IMDb.
Yeah.
Heather, oh God, it was so good.
Heather was like, line. I would never, ever do anything that would hurt you.
If you come for me or my family, what does she say?
You will regret it. And that is not a threat. That is a promise.
God, it's so good.
Oh, no. Sorry. What she says is, you will lose a lot more than my friendship.
Oh, yes.
Shannon's like, I'm willing to take that bet. Willing to take that
and
risk.
She does. Yeah. She takes that bet this season. And we get the scene.
Well, so Shannon's MO, this is where my no apology comes in. We have this scene, and this scene is so fucking fake because Shannon, yes, doesn't care about Heather. She doesn't care about this apology, and Heather really doesn't want to be there either.
No.
She's just trying to save face, and she's trying to kind of do her best to get this group back together and just fucking move on. So at least Heather can kind of go through the motions. Heather can, try to act and do, I'm sorry, I never, regardless of what you think, Shannon, I don't want you and your family to be hurt. I don't want that. And Shannon's always like, wow, Heather, wow, oh, okay. I don't know, Heather, because, and then she'll just go through her checklist. But even when we finally get to the end of her conversation and she can finally come to terms with being like, okay, Heather, thank you for saying that. Thank you. There's nothing on her end being like, I'm sorry, if I gave you the wrong impression, I'm sorry if I overreacted, I just there's nothing ever on the other end of Shannon taking any accountability for anything she does.
No, never.
Ever.
Never.
You will all see the truth.
Terry, I think she's having a psychotic break. Do we need to call the ambulance?
They've been acting since day one. And you know what? I'm here for these Shannon.
But y'all, when Heather took that pause, I hate to say this, but I really started laughing. I said, "Oh my God, here it goes." She's trying to muster up those tears, and bless her heart, the pause was too long, and she still wasn't getting there. That she had to continue up the scene, and all she got was a little watery eyes. That's all she could get, and so that's how I know nothing fell to the cheek. Mm-mm. But about a good 5 seconds passed, and it still wasn't happening, so she had to move on.
Yeah,
but it was my favorite moment of the scene, big time.
Speaking of acting,
guys,
it's my friend Teddy Mellencamp. We have a podcast together. What did you do, Teddy? Teddy, what'd you do now? Even Jen. By the way, I was looking at Jen the entire time. Even Jen's like, okay. Did you see her eyes? She'd look over and even Jen, because I think Jen kind of knows what she's doing. So she's like,
yeah.
Jen's like, so what happened?
Jen.
Because it just feels
fake.
Yeah.
That was the fakest shit I've ever seen.
It was so bad.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there are no paparazzi at Disneyland. I just want to say that I just saw paparazzi photos of John Mellencamp, that's Teddy's father, with his supposed new girlfriend, who is not somebody of notoriety. I mean, maybe in their own right, but not somebody that the everyday layman.
Yeah, sure.
Even, I mean, whatever. Who the fuck? Who's taking paparazzi photos of John Mellencamp?
It's not 1994.
Thank you.
Teddy.
That's what I said.
Teddy's out there.
I literally was like, Teddy's up to this. And so I'm just not buying this.
Well, here's the problem. I didn't even know that picture, which, listen, that picture is hilarious.
I mean, they are absolutely called the
I didn't know that was at Disney, right? Okay. But is Disney, that's not even in OC.
Disneyland is.
It is?
It's in Anaheim.
Okay, well, then I have a second follow-up thing. Because Teddy's saying, the paparazzi doesn't come to OC. But is she just saying that, typically you don't see paparazzi in OC, or the paparazzi is not allowed to be in the OC? What's the story here?
You don't see the paparazzi in the OC like you see them in Beverly Hills. But here's the thing. With the way that social media is, you don't really see paparazzi like that, period.
Yeah.
Unless they know where you're at, which there are going to be people who just kind of peruse Disneyland knowing that there are going to be celebrities who show up, or they get wind that a celebrity is showing up, or the celebrity calls them to tell them that they're showing up, whatever it may be. But there is a likelihood, and it is plausible that, do I think that Heather called the paparazzi? Yes.
Yeah.
But is there a likelihood that you can run into paparazzi at Disneyland? Absolutely. But I think that's Tamara's point, is that if it's Angelina Jolie, somebody's going to take a picture and send that in. And oftentimes the way that paparazzi works, especially now, it's kind of anybody. And they're selling whatever they're taking. Whereas it used to be, you'd have these $10,000 cameras that you were taking pictures of, and you were legitimate. Like, you had a staff badge and shit.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly.
But it's just kind of changed, the landscape has. So is it plausible? Yes. Is it likely? No.
Well, two things are true. One, Heather definitely set it up.
Yeah.
Two, Teddy needs to shut it. Because this
Teddy's never set up a paparazzi photo.
Yeah.
Get out of here. There'd be no paparazzi photos of Teddy.
Exactly.
And I need to put some of the onus on Tamara too, because Tamara was fake as fuck on that conversation.
Teddy?
What did I miss on the podcast?
My one day off.
And
what
by the
was
way,
it?
the fake, because I hear it on their podcast too. When they definitely go into an episode kind of wanting to steer. And that's okay. And I think anybody who listens to Two T's in a Pod probably knows that. And I love listening to Tamara on the podcast. I think it's fun. But I mean, you have to go into it with a grain of salt, right? Mm-hmm. So I definitely heard that same type of steering that I hear on the podcast in that scene. What? My friend Teddy's got... Jen, this is my friend Teddy Mellencamp. Like, it's just very... whatever. I can't. We're at a pumpkin patch.
Yeah,
I love fall. I didn't hear Shannon say that she doesn't like the fall.
She went on for about 2.5 minutes.
I'm upset.
Well, you should be.
I'm personally offended.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Because that looks wonderful.
Yeah, fall is my fucking favorite season.
Apples.
I love that Taylor put this on.
Same.
Taylor, you're doing it for me.
An all-star.
Really
an all-star
is.
friend of.
She annoyed me at the very beginning, but then I got over it, and now I'm
we
with her.
definitely went into it though thinking a certain type of way.
Yeah, we did.
Because she annoyed us on Ultimate Girls Trip.
Exactly.
Oh, she was
that was our
annoying.
taste.
Yeah.
And then we heard she was going to be on Orange County, and we were like, oh.
Wow.
But we
you know
pushed
what?
through.
We pushed through. And Taylor, we love you.
Glad we did, because
You
she's
know what?
great.
I think she's a better fit.
Yeah.
She's a better fit with OC.
Yeah.
That's why it should be a swap. I know Taylor wasn't on Beverly Hills currently, but or in recent past, but send Heather to Beverly Hills and keep Taylor on the OC.
I think so. I think why not? Let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. Give me a shot. I need to watch it.
Well, Gina's ready to go. She's like, I'm not waiting for Shannon.
Yeah. Should we wait for Shannon, guys? No, I'm done waiting for Shannon. All we do is wait for Shannon.
God, I know. And Shannon showed up. I mean, when she showed up, she looked miserable.
Yeah.
What happened?
She did.
She is miserable.
That's what happens when you keep secrets in the vault.
Yeah.
Well, Betsy, you made a point that you said that you think she's uncomfortable in her own body.
I do feel that way. Like, just the way she's walking, she's always pulling on herself.
She looks wonderful.
She looks beautiful.
And it doesn't matter what we think, even though...
This is just my opinion watching her. I just feel like she feels unsettled, like in her own skin. And I feel like she feels very unhappy. And so I think that comes through in some of these scenes.
Well, before she gets there, Emily tracks down Jen. She wants to know what was said, who said what, CPS, how did it go down? Because Gina's upset. Jen's like, la, 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 this is how it happened. Obviously, Emily debunks that because we all love lawyer Emily.
Yeah, love.
And then we get to the table. We're all carving pumpkins. And this is where the bombshell, it drops. Jen's like, you said this. Shannon says, no, she did not. Do you think at any moment, do you think that she really believes that she didn't say it?
No.
Do you think that she actually forgot?
I don't think, I mean... correct me if I'm misremembering, but I don't think that she was like wasted at that dinner when she said this.
Sometimes I can't tell.
Well, by the way, that's fair.
Apparently, no one remembers this. Like Taylor doesn't even remember.
Well,
Taylor.
I think Taylor did fall at one point.
That's true.
And Tamara says she doesn't remember. I don't know if I believe that.
Shocker, Tamara doesn't remember. I'm not expecting her to remember.
But yeah,
then who the fuck else do you ask?
Right.
Well,
my friends were there.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. let's pretend Shannon was blackout. She really did not remember saying that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be blackout and just say something that has never come across your mind. So this is something that she's obviously said to someone before, or she's thought. Like, oh, I helped save Gina's kids and save her family from CPS. Whether she's ever vocalized that or not, it's something she's thought. Because as someone who drinks a lot, I don't know that I've ever gotten wasted and said something that I've never ever thought about or had any feelings about ever before.
Agree.
You know what I mean? So
totally.
even if she doesn't remember, which I actually think she does remember, and that's why she has this big reaction, as what Jen said, like, I think she does remember it. But even if she doesn't, this is something that she's at least felt before, which is absurd.
Where does she think it's going to get her by lying about this?
I just think she's trying to discredit Gina as a human. You know, she's upset. She's upset that Gina's talking about her relationship. Well, my relationship. Look at you, Gina. You got arrested. I'm the one who helped you. How dare you come after my relationship? It's all very trivial, right? It's just bullshit. But she's trying to, I think, discredit Gina into being like bad judgment. So I don't care what you say about my relationship, because look at you and Travis, and look at you as an individual several years ago when I had to help you out of a dark place.
I'm not one to diagnose alcoholism, but for a little bit there, it was touch and go with Shannon. I was seeing her drinking very heavily.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, you know, Gina kind of calls it at the end.
I'm just calling a spade a spade. Right. I don't think that she's an alcoholic. I'm not going to even go as far as to say she has any type of drinking problem. What I will say is during that time, though, she had, like, I don't want to say a problem, but
she was drinking to cope.
She was coping. Thank you.
There was a mask there.
Yes.
I think we've all can say that we've done that at some point in our
100%.
life. I will say that I have.
So. Same.
But,
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
I don't think she has a problem, but yeah, I think that she drinks to cope. And I think that when she's having problems in her relationship.
And that her and John Jansen fight.
And she's drinking a lot because of that. They have a lot of problems.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think he's a big drinker too. So
I think he's a big drinker.
Exactly.
Fuel to the fire.
But I think Gina's not the one. Like, Gina has all of her faculties. She's sharp. She's very kind of clear in her arguments. And I know that not everyone like co-signs everything Gina does or her as a housewife in general. But in this, it's like everything she's saying resonates. The fact that every time Shannon brings up any issue with her, especially looking even back on like the DUI or the DWI, it escalates over the years. Every time she talks about it, it gets worse. Like the situation seems more catastrophic.
Mm-hmm. She does, because when she helped her, she really it felt so genuine. And now it just feels like it does. It gets worse. It gets more damaging.
She has something to hold over her head,
exactly, or to deflect. It's a constant kind of ace in her pocket. It's just kind of deflection from herself.
I hate to say this as much as I love Shannon. It's pathetic because it was so long ago.
Seriously.
Well, and really, we have to remember that.
Like, big deal.
But at the time, Gina was very, very grateful and told her she was very grateful. But all she did was really call a number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all she did was put her in touch with someone, which I'm so glad that she did that. And I know Gina was, but I don't think we need to be talking about it at this level 4 or 5 years later, however many years.
Stop saying CPS. It just feels kind of gross. And it's just like, why?
It does.
CPS almost took her kids.
She just always strikes me as the person, well, I did this for you, so why are you doing this to me? That is not a friend. Like a friend, you help your friends out when they're having a hard time and you don't expect anything fucking in return. It's just, but that's how Shannon operates.
And I understand that Heather said it in her confessional, all the problems that her and John Jansen have. Let's keep in mind that this confessional is well after the fact. Mm-hmm. Heather really has never talked about her relationship to anybody.
She hasn't.
If she does, it's off camera. I mean, we can't track that.
And we can't track that. But as far as we can see and hear from them, it's not Heather it's
bringing it up. Yeah. Or Tamra.
Oh.
Or Tamra.
I think Tamra's also involved in that. Mm-hmm. And Tamra has been bringing it up. She's been bringing it up as like some way to say that other people are bringing it up, but really it's to bring it up so they can just talk about it, period.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, God, she's good sometimes. Sometimes she's not. Sometimes she's not.
Sometimes. She's trying to play the game and she's being a little transparent in it.
Yeah, and enough with the Jen Googled it.
That was ridiculous.
Enough.
Okay,
the gaslighting is unbelievable.
Okay. It's really...
I mean, they're short of just asking Jen if she's got a mental disorder.
Yeah. Let's go back to Jen doesn't care that much.
Jen doesn't.
Jen's not waking up thinking about Shannon. How can I bring Shannon and Gina down? She doesn't care that much, y'all.
That's why I'm laughing, because when Shannon is screaming, my friends were there, Jen's like,
I was there.
I was literally there.
She probably didn't even like Jen. You know, Shannon always hates the new people.
What friends? Because also no one showed up.
Yeah.
So Tamara was there.
Well, she said a mouthful there.
Jen was there, and Taylor was there.
My friends! 3 people.
My friends? Like, what friends?
She's just too much. First of all, her reaction was way over the top.
I'm getting.
Oh my God, you scared me.
I'm getting.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Honestly, that acting, guys, I got startled. I thought like there was a cockroach on Lauren.
No, but the pain.
My job.
The pain. Tamara's like, no. Are you okay?
It's
No.
anxiety, guys. It's
Okay.
stress.
Everyone
It's
stop.
her anxiety pains.
It's not a heart attack. It's just stress from Gina. Gina's causing her body to stress. It's like, okay, God. Can anybody catch a fucking break here?
Poor
But
Gina.
yeah, she was so over the top, and Gina was even.
No one's
even
buying
when
the pain,
Gina was
though.
like,
No.
don't fucking talk about my family. She was just kind of matter of fact, but of course Shannon's so over the top, and then her body's like shuts down. I'm
not invalidating her pain, but I just don't think anybody's buying it.
It's
hard. It's hard to take it seriously when you can control when it happens.
Except we did get a Heather. Are you okay? 'Cause she can't help herself. Because especially being the wife of the doctor.
We need an ambulance.
Yeah,
An ambulance.
she has to go, oh God, I have to ask. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
oh my God.
Oh, it's just so silly. But I'm happy that Gina stood her ground, and I'm happy that Gina turned to Jen and was like, I believe you, Jen. If anyone's not telling the truth, it's Shannon.
And
I'm
also-
just glad that Jen didn't somehow get fucking thrown under the bus.
She wasn't going to, not by
Yeah.
Dana and Emily. Emily was like, or no, was it Heather was like, but how would Jen know this?
Exactly. It was.
Right.
Yes,
No, it was Heather.
She Googled it.
Googled it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she Googled it.
Because Jen
Typed
knew
in Google.
I can't.
And then typed in Shannon, Gina, DWI. And it came up.
Like that
CPS.
response in and of itself to me indicates that Shannon absolutely remembers saying it because
Yeah,
that's so
come on.
ridiculous. But
She's
also
out of control.
Jen wasn't like going to let herself get thrown under the bus, but it did resonate with me when she said, I think it was an interview, like, where the fuck are my friends standing up for me? Like, Tamara, if you really don't remember and you are claiming you don't remember, why are you automatically assuming and falling on the side of Shannon?
Exactly.
Why aren't you kind of staying neutral and
Exactly.
giving defense and or
Exactly.
merits to both sides?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taylor's the only one that I'll give that didn't remember it.
She was
She's the
literally
only-
fall over drunk.
And and Taylor really probably didn't care about this, right?
No, she doesn't.
She's new friends to both of them. And she's probably just like, I want to stay out of
She
this.
didn't understand why people cared that Jen had an affair.
Yeah, you
She's
probably,
like,
Also
why-
true.
She was like, I don't understand why we're caring about this.
yeah, I really
Look at how
I
far
like that.
Gina and Jen have come, though. Gina turning to Jen and
know,
being like, don't
I
worry,
know.
I
believe you. I believe you.
When the first 5 episodes of the season was the whole nonsense with the
Yeah.
cheating.
Well, that
Gina finally
too,
came around.
but I also think Jen's just not. Everything thus far that we've seen from Jen has been the truth.
Yeah.
Well, and the nice thing is, Jen is actually the definition of saying, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Because Jen actually
Literally.
moves on. Everyone
has.
else across all franchises, can we just move forward? And we move forward for an episode and then we're right back there, Groundhog's Day, whatever fight. Jen's the only person that's like, and she's gotten, man, I mean, so much shit has been thrown at her. And she's like, you know what? It's okay. Let's just move on.
Clean slate.
And then we fucking move on. All-star.
Sorry. I'm looking down at the notes and all I see is Shannon is like catatonic.
Yes.
Okay, but Tamara also calls Heather out for these paparazzi photos. Also, Heather took it like a champ.
Heather took it like a champ
Yeah.
and she fucking got heated.
She got heated.
You actually accusing me of this?
I know.
Acting.
I'd like my Emmy.
Yeah.
Is that your Emmy?
No, that's my Razzie.
Weren't you a thespian?
I did a couple of plays in high school.
All
okay?
right. Eves, I love it.
Couple of plays, and I AD'd the rest of them.
Yeah. Riverdale
are-
Country Day School guys in the Bronx, New York.
You are an actress.
Yeah,
We
Riverdale.
could at
Bronx.
least win a daytime Emmy, probably.
We could. I think so.
Yeah.
Little Peabody.
Yeah.
Peabody. I'm here for that.
Oh, that's a real award. No. Because I don't want anybody coming at me in the reviews being like, they think they can win a Peabody. Is that a real award?
Yeah, that's like
For journalism, right?
Journalism.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's not us. Let me be very clear here. That is not us.
Is there a Razzie version of the Peabody?
Exactly.
Yeah,
us.
that's what we are. That's what
Is
we
there
are.
like a Clio of podcasting? There's podcasting awards.
There are
Yeah.
the Webbies. No,
Webbies.
I don't
This is
know.
2004.
What?
Anyway, guys. All right, so Heather gets called out.
Yeah.
Tamara's like, whatever, we're deflecting. Look, at this point, I kind of checked out because I just knew. Well, because I checked out when Heather invited everybody to her fireside
Chat.
her Amazon, her
Whatever
brand
it is.
Amazon Fire Stick.
What
is it?
I don't even know.
I love Heather,
It's not
but
going
I
to be at
can't.
the house. It's not going to be at the house. That's what I took away.
Oh, because that's set up. That's set up
Right.
to lead us in the direction of how is she going to tell everybody that she sold her house for $55 million?
The
women
tells,
are. Oh no,
Sorry,
I was
go
gonna say the
ahead.
women are going to be upset about this.
How could you keep that from us?
Well,
Stupid.
what's even better is I'm going to make a prediction here.
Okay.
She's going to tell them at her fireside launch event, and they're going to get mad at her for it at her own event.
Maybe.
I honestly don't understand why we have to ride for this. Like, why are they going to ride on this?
I don't know.
Maybe they won't.
They will,
They will.
Well,
and I don't understand that.
The ones that matter won't. Emily's not going to care. Jen's
Gina's
not going to care. And Gina probably won't care.
Also, when you're selling a house that's for that type of money, and that's what the sale price is.
You keep it hush hush.
Everything is very hush hush.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this working on $1 million listing. It's really serious. It's a lot of money, so everything is very under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a
even
lot
though
of
they
NDAs at times.
Yes,
like,
there's a lot of. That's another thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like confidentiality and like NDAs and stuff.
Yeah. And even though they've signed on the dotted line, like you don't do anything, I think, until it's like actually
Exactly.
happened and
deposited
it's done.
in your account.
I'm serious though.
Yeah.
So that's why I personally don't think it's a big deal. And also, if she did tell them, the only real opportunity she would have had to tell them would have been at this event, and everything else going on, fucking forget it.
No
way.
They're absolutely fucking not. And they would have just thought she was bragging, like you
Right,
said. She also speculates. So it's just
She really can't win.
yeah, this isn't something she sat on. I'm sorry, I have to be fair. This is not something she sat on the entire season, and then she kind of did because it probably took a while to sell it. But my point being is that this isn't something she sat on for 3 or 4 episodes where they don't know. At that point, I'm like, okay, why aren't you telling them? It kind of is weird.
Yeah.
But this is just a week.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see. We don't know how long she goes until she tells them. So. But,
That's also true.
But yeah, the last point.
Oh.
I guess it's a little point, which is Travis's penis.
Oh, God. How do we know this?
This is what is so interesting about Tamara. This is why Tamara sometimes is a little bit of a question mark for me. She's going to ride and die for Shannon, being like, Shannon, I don't remember Shannon saying anything about CPS. But then out of the blue, no one's asking about this information. Out of the blue, well, you did say that Travis had a small penis.
She remembers that.
She remembers that.
Just like, God. And then Shannon's like, why? Why are you saying that?
Pretend amnesia.
Why are you bringing that up?
Pretend amnesia.
Did I say that? But Gina doesn't care, so.
Yeah,
No.
who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Because it's not about the like menial bullshit for Gina. It's about you're bringing up on national television child protective services
Right.
in relation to my child,
Also,
my children. Fuck off.
With small penis, come on now. Like,
Who
no one
cares?
cares
Who
because
cares?
it's such a reach.
Yeah,
I
who
know.
cares?
You know what I mean?
But again, this is what annoys me with Shannon. Shannon finally gets down to saying that, like, I was just upset because, you know, you're talking about my relationship and I was talking about your relationship. But Gina, I never meant to, like, hurt you or be nasty. Okay, well, maybe they didn't mean that either.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't mean to
exactly.
hurt you. Maybe they didn't mean to be nasty. Why does it only matter if you do it? I'm just like, fuck off.
But this is the hypocrisy.
And I hate fall. Okay, get out of here.
I know.
fuck outta here
I'm
with that.
sad about that. I really am.
Yes,
No, it's fitting
disappointing.
for her.
It really is, though. She's such a curmudgeon.
Oh
She's such a
God,
crotch. She really is, though.
so crotchety.
Is there anything? Did we miss anything? I feel like
I think
Got most
because
everything.
half the episode was the fall
The
festival.
pumpkin, yeah.
yeah.
I think
I was here for the
Yeah.
activities. It looked very
Yeah.
pretty.
I was going to say
Oh,
the activity.
that's what I
We talked a
missed.
little bit about it at the
The
beginning.
wheelbarrow.
Because, you know, I love an activity.
Shannon running for dear
Shannon
life.
running, the hula hooping.
She runs like a cartoon.
Y'all,
does.
maybe I'll put it on a story on our Instagram because I
Please.
took a boomerang of Shannon doing the hula
Please do
hoop
it.
and it made me just live life.
That
It
was the
so
rose of the
fucking
episode.
funny.
I love.
And you know,
Let's put it up.
as many things as I say bad about Shannon always is a good sport with stuff like this. She gives it 110%,
Yep.
and I love it. And your woman, Heather, I'll be the ref. And then she has the audacity to be like, "Oh, well, just do it." Talking to like Shannon or someone. I'm like, Heather, shut up. You're not even participating.
No, Heather never participates.
never
in stuff
does.
like that. She's not very athletic to me.
No.
Even though she is athletic and she'll say she's athletic, but
Is she though?
exactly.
Is she
She's that
really?
Northeastern athletic.
What does that
What are
mean?
you
With the-
saying
with the
about
prep
us
school.
Northeasterners?
The prep schools, they have no real sports.
Whoa.
Yeah, like
It's not like
Apes
being
is
growing up, guys. It's not like growing up in Texas.
Okay, fine, it's not growing up in Texas,
my high school experience was literal Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
The prep school experience is
Gossip Girl.
They don't have real sports.
They'll do like
It's not
chess
real.
or something.
Shut up.
Exactly.
No.
Like fencing.
She goes exactly.
Well, we do have fencing, but that's one
Exactly.
of many.
Oh my God,
We
it
got
is a
football,
rich person's
baseball,
sport.
Whatever.
field hockey, lacrosse.
Okay. I played a weighted
Soccer.
sport. I played water polo.
Yeah, so fuck off.
But at a 5A school.
Okay,
with
whatever.
real
I don't know what that
students.
means.
With real athletes. Okay?
We were in the Ivy League division of our.
Yeah, I went to. Yeah, exactly. I went to high school with people who got real scholarships to D1 schools. Yeah, so you need to pipe down, Chachi. Pipe down.
Oh my God.
Guys, before we go, we have so many shows coming up. I don't know how we're going to do it. All right. So right now, currently, we are recapping Roni,
Mm-hmm.
OC.
Yeah.
We're going to have Southern Charm, and we're going to have SLC come up in the next. We're going to have 4 shows
When's
happening
Southern
at
Charm
once.
coming out?
I want to say.
September 14th, I think.
Yes, September
Wow.
14th.
Yeah.
October or September?
September.
Oh, wow.
So that's what it is.
Shit.
Next week will be SLC, and the week after that will be Southern Charm.
Oh, fuck.
We have a lot.
It's true.
We have a lot that's coming down the pike.
It's a lot to watch.
I don't know that I want to be hanging out with Heather.
Oh, and we have Golden Bachelor, which I think we want to cover.
Oh, yeah. That
Looks fun.
Maybe
I
we
think
do.
so.
Maybe we do like every other episode of that. See how it goes.
Well, it's like
Every
4
other
hours a week.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
Ooh.
saying.
Listen, I'm here for it. I actually watched his little thing after the rose
package?
or whatever. Yeah, he actually seems great.
Okay.
And I'm here to see like older women represented on TV.
Me too.
So,
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
I'm
see
down
that.
I'm down to give it a try.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, we have a lot.
It's a lot.
I hope you guys are going to be here for it. I feel like that's going to be an episode every day. Oh God.
Jeez Louise.
Well, guys, that leads me to my next thing. If you would like to donate a cocktail,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
We all need it. Also, I just want to do another special.
Yes.
Thank you. Because we had a few more people buy us a cocktail, guys. Gave us a little cha-ching, cha-ching. And we want
really
to recognize you because we really, really appreciate it.
Thank
So
you,
a shout out to Irene. Do a little snap. Oh my God, my hands are so sweaty. What have I been doing?
Gross.
What is that?
What have you been doing? I don't know. Do you want me to do it?
Oh, God. Whatever. Just keep it in. Let them know how pathetic I am.
God.
Okay, so we have Irene, and then we have Catherine.
Woo, woo, woo.
Lisa. And Vanessa.
Yes.
So thank y'all. All of y'all out there. We really, really appreciate it.
We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Why are you thinking, ma'am?
I keep on saying thank you in the
all
hopes
over Eve's
that
Why are you?
one of you
why are
will buy
you-
me a cocktail with that money.
I'm about to take a shot
Share
right
the
now.
I'll allow you to get some water from the faucet.
Ah, wonderful.
Tap
Thanks,
water,
guys.
baby.
Guys, executive producer would also like to thank you for buying us a cocktail.
Yes, thanks.
I love to tease her. I love to drag her. Please don't come at me in the comments or the review section
No,
of
it is
our
all
podcast.
in jest.
Oh, yes, it is all in jest. Guys, thank you for joining us on our Real Housewives of Orange County recap. Shannon hates the fall.
Depression.
If you're not already, please like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. We are available on all platforms. Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Fire. Is it Fire Listen? Firefly?
Fire stick.
Fire Stick. And Apple Podcasts. And if you'd like to donate a cocktail, scroll down all the way to the bottom. You'll see a little link there that says donate a coffee. But really, it's donate a cocktail. And we'd greatly appreciate it. Okay.
Until next week, we'll see you 5 times a week, I guess.
Oh, gosh. There's going to be so much. That's okay, though.
All right.
It's going to be good. All right, guys.
Here's to fall.
Here's the fall.
To fall.